Hey there everyone, it's Laurel Beard here for Ellen Hutson, and today I'm going to be playing with the Gina K Wreath Builder template and create 4 cards in celebration of Spin Me Around Week over here on Ellen Hutson. I'm using the 4-inch Gina K template here. This is the wreath building template, but I'm not building a wreath. Nope. We've seen flowers quite a bit with the wreath builder, so let's do something else. Let's first show how you can use this wreath builder template and only turn it twice. So I've went ahead and lined up 4 little latte images from the Latte Love stamp set from Ellen Hutson and stamped it, and then I just turned it. I basically flipped it to the other side, and then I'm going to stamp those 4 images right there. And there I've got my perfect circle. It took up the whole space on the top and the whole space on the bottom, so I only had to stamp these 4 latte images twice. So now I'm going to stamp the little cup right there in the middle. And then it has, the stamp set has a little latte image as well. Also has sentiments that fit snugly inside the latte cup as well. And that's why here I'm going, oh, where am I going to put a sentiment on this card? So I went ahead and did the same thing. I stamped the exact same layout again, and this time I stamped one of the sentiments inside the latte cup there for my sentiment. Sentiments are always an afterthought for me. I don't know why I don't plan my sentiments first, but I don't. So these are the Altenew alcohol markers. Now I am not good with alcohol marker coloring at all. I'm not good at shading. I'm not good at trying to figure out where the light comes in to create the shadowing and all that stuff. So I love these Altenew markers. They're very user friendly. They have that brush tip on one side and a fine tip on the other. And it comes with a blender pen, or you can buy a blender pen separately. And I do a lot of my shading with a blender pen. It just works for me because, again, I'm not good at adding the 3 colors and doing all that stuff. I just absolutely stink at it. But these markers are fun. They come in a variety of colors that coordinate with their inks. So I got some really cute, vibrant latte images here. I'm going in with a white pen just to accentuate some of that foam on that latte. And then I'm going to go in and add some tonic crystal glaze. I love this stuff. It does pour out of the tube faster than glossy accents, which is something you might be familiar with. I prefer the crystal glaze more because I don't have any clogging issues, and I do like that it comes out quicker. So I'm able to just apply a nice application of that glaze, and it dries very quickly. So here you're going to see me going in. After I realized I forgot the poor little puppy's paws. There was no color on the puppy's paws, so I added so I went in and added some color there, and here I am going in with the glaze here. So I like the bottle is bigger, easier to hold. It comes out really fast. I'm able to thump the back side of the cardstock to get out any bubbles that may have been left behind. And then when this dries, I have a nice glossy inside to my latte. And here's a look at this first card. So you don't have to use the Gina K Wreath Builder just for florals. Look at some of the stamps that you have in your stash and see what you can create with them. Here is the second card that I stamped, same layout. I just stamped Hug in a Mug inside that latte cup. This is Nuvo Mica Mist. I'm just taking these 2 colors and spraying them onto my cardstock, and that's going to be this card. I wanted to show you that you can create really fun cards, and you don't have to have all the mediums and the latest watercolors and this, that, and the other. I love these Mica Mists. They dry quickly. They put out a great color. That mica powder is fantastic. It's really shiny in real life. It's hard to capture it on camera here. But here's a close-up at this card right here. All right, so for my third card, I wanted to create a fun birthday scene, and I'm going to use a new stamp set from the latest Ellen Hutson release. It's full of a bunch of critters and cute little birthday images called Backyard Party Stamp Set. And this cake is fairly large, so I'm only going to have to turn my card 4 times. As you can see here, I went ahead and shifted it to the next corner, and you can see those cakes are overlapping. So I'm going to turn it twice. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to stamp the cake, and I'm going to turn it down again. I'm going to skip the middle one and go to the corner, stamp it, skip the bottom middle one and go to the left-hand corner and stamp it. So I only have to turn it or stamp it in 4 places to get this perfectly round little wreath of cakes, if you will. I guess that's what we can call it. I'm going to go in and stamp the little cakes and the cupcake in between all those hats. Again, still only having to turn it 4 times. When my next card, I'm going to turn it every single slot. So you'll get a feeling of how this works if you have never seen this Gina K Wreath Builder in action. I just wanted to show it in a different way, kind of without florals or without creating a wreath and that kind of thing. So this looks like one hot mess right now, and it's okay. You can think that. I had a plan going in. I actually had a plan for this card, which is unusual for me because normally I just kind of sit down and wing it. But there's a plan here. So I'm going to go in. These are the Altenew Pan watercolors. And I'm just going in and doing some very, very simple watercoloring here. I stamped all of these images with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. It's a new ink to me. I wanted to try it out because I've seen so many people use it. So many people sing its praises, and I didn't have any, and that was just not acceptable to me. So I got the black ink, and I am a fan. I love it. It's my go-to black ink. It's also great for watercoloring, as you can see here. I love it. So voila, my images have been colored. I have the sentiment stamped and die cut onto a circle. I'm going to go ahead and add a little blue around the edges of the card just to kind of pull everything together. I wanted this card to be really pretty and colorful, but still have a lot of white in the background. So I'm going and blending out any harsh edges from the watercolor with just a wet paintbrush, making sure that's good and dry. And then I'm going to adhere that happy birthday to you that was die cut on a circle die, pop that up with some foam dimension, and wada bang. Now that doesn't look like such a hot mess, does it? Now it kind of makes a little bit more sense, I hope. Moving into my final card. Okay, I've got still using the same 4-inch wreath builder template. That's cardstock cut 4x4. And I'm going to go in with this nest first. I'm going to stamp it in the center of my card so I can build around the nest. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up. I'm using my Misty stamping tool, if I did not mention that before. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up that nest with some brown Catherine Puller ink. And now I'm going to go in with the hummingbird. I think this is a hummingbird. And this is a fairly small image, so I'm going to stamp this every single turn. You're going to see what I mean. This is another brown ink called Over Coffee. So I stamped it once. I'm going to turn it right into the, and I'm going to nestle that card right into the next corner and stamp it, ink it up, stamp it, turn to the next corner, ink it up, stamp it, and so forth. So here I am using every single corner on this template, which is how you would build a traditional wreath and flowers and things of that nature. So you can use bigger images and not have to use every single corner. You can use smaller images, use every single corner, whatever floats your boat. But this template makes it super easy because your card rests right inside the square. And if you missed one, like I did, I can very easily go back and fill that in. Oops. So again, this template, they also have a mini template builder as well. I don't have that one. I only have the large one. And again, it comes with a 4-inch and a 3 1/4 or maybe 3 3/4 inch. I tend to reach for the 4-inch one all the time. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to finish off the card here. I realized I forgot to stamp a branch. The nest needs to be sitting on something. So I used some purple tape to mask off some of the birds. I'm using that same watercolor from Altenew, and I just went ahead and painted on some watercolor onto that stamp and stamped it down. And now my nest is not just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to quickly go in and color these birds as well. Any kind of color medium that you have would work for any of these cards. You don't have to do watercoloring. If you're good with the alcohol markers and the Copics and the Altenew, go for it. I say go for it. I say grab your kids' Crayola markers or colored pencils if that's what you got. Do whatever you want. If you want to get wild and crazy, go in with some paper piecing. I have no patience for paper piecing, but I love how it looks. And paper piecing is where I would have stamped this bird onto some patterned paper and cut it out. But again, I am lazy. So now Catherine Puller ink, which is what I used for stamping all of these birds and the nest and everything, that is water reactive ink. The only permanent ink from the Catherine Puller line is her Midnight ink, which is the black ink. And I'm telling you this because I'm going to go in and add a little spray, and it's going to kind of move some of the watercolor around. That's okay. I knew that going in. So that was some Nuvo Mica Mist. It's in a gold color. Everything I used is linked in the YouTube description for you as well, and also on the coordinating blog post. So I'm going to dry that with my Wow Heat tool. And I just love how artsy and watercolory this card looks. I just think it's really cool. It's very sparkly and shiny, and I had a really good time with it. So 4 cards using the Gina K Wreath Builder template, the larger one. Again, there's also a mini one available if you want to take a look at that. It'll be linked below for you as well. But 4 ways to use this card without flowers. I love flowers, don't get me wrong. They're beautiful, and people have made the most beautiful wreaths I've ever seen. But I wanted to show you that you can use this with other stamps that you have in your stash too. So I hope that you'll give it a try. And thanks so much for watching, Ellen Hutson, and we will see you again soon.